speak out after you leave Washington, or are you going to follow kind of more of the Bush model where you're kind of out of sight, out of mind?
I'm not going to be out of sight or out of mind.
President Biden is giving a master class in how to leave the office with dignity and how to show the contrasts between the success of your administration and the likely anticipated failures of the incoming Trump administration. Now, big news on Friday. You may have heard about this. The United States added 256,000 jobs in December. Once again, surpassing expectations and bringing the total for 2024 to 2.2 million jobs. The unemployment rate dipped to 4.1% and wages grew 3.9% over the past year, far outpacing inflation. President Biden's final gift to the United States of America, Joey Jobs. Jobs, jobs, jobs. How many times have you heard each month these reports exceeding expectations? Very different than when Trump was in office. Here's President Biden's response to this great news. With today's report of 256,000 new jobs in December, we've created over 16.6 million jobs during my administration, the only in history to have created jobs in every single month. Despite inheriting an economic crisis, we built back our economy from the middle out and bottom up. Even Fox had to report that this was good news, that Biden is leaving on the highest note possible. The jobs report came out. Maria Bartiromo and Fox, who've always wanted to root for a bad economy and bad reports, once again didn't get that here. It'll be interesting to see how they will try to spin when Donald Trump tanks the economy. Oh, wait, they're already trying to do it. In Murdoch's other rag, the New York Post, one of Murdoch's writers, Charlie Gasparino, a right-wing guy who says he's a business writer. This is what they're pushing in the New York Post. Joe Biden's fiscal time bomb is set to explode just in time for Trump to take office. It would be laughable if it wasn't so crude and outrageous. Frankly, shocks the conscious that this is what they're going with. Biden, who inherited disaster, turned our economy around, and every month has produced jobs, and most months exceeded expectations on the jobs report. Stock market up 55-60% from when Biden took over. Now that Biden's giving a seamless transition to Donald Trump, MAGA's already making those excuses. Look at that photo of Charlie Gasparino, very serious guy, Gasparino. He just knows that Trump is a loser, that it is the grifting season right now for all of these right-wing greedy people, and they're going to ruin the economy. Let's go to our playbook and let's try to blame Biden for everything. By the way, take a look at the charts. You'll see for yourself. Biden will go the entire term without a single negative jobs month. The last time the economy lost jobs? Oh, wait. December 2020. Who was in office then? I don't know. The guy who added $8 trillion of debt. I don't know. The guy who probably destroyed your 401ks. The guy who said, like a miracle, COVID would just magically disappear. People there to try to get goods because Javier Milei, who MAGA and Elon love, there's currently a 53 or 54% poverty rate there. I don't think we want a 53 or 54% poverty rate here. Anyway, I digress. President Biden also posts the following. Take a look at these final parting messages that President Biden's sending to Donald Trump. It's a thing of beauty. It's photos with himself and President Zelensky. It's photos of himself with our NATO allies. It's photos of himself with Justin Trudeau, the former Prime Minister of the UK, a leader of South Korea, the leader of France, international allies. Just take a look. Then you've got him meeting here as well with the Quad And you see him right there having meetings with the leader of India, Modi, and other world leaders. He goes, American leadership holds the world together. Our alliances and partnerships are what keep us safe, and our values are what makes us a partner that nations want to work with. I'm proud to say that the United States partnerships and alliances are stronger today than ever before. By the way, how much do you love when I do videos on Biden and highlighting the good news that you don't hear anywhere else, and I don't play audio or video of Donald Trump? Isn't it refreshing? I don't know. I digress. It's refreshing to me. So you got President Biden talking about domestic jobs, Biden talking about international alliances stronger, and he's showing how you lead in crisis or crises. President Biden writes, I'm surging every federal resource possible to Southern California, including hundreds of federal firefighters, 30 firefighting helicopters and planes, 8 DoD C-130s, and 500 military ground clearing personnel. We're working with the Department of Defense to identify what more can we surge. But what kind of questions do you think our corporate media here was interested in asking him? What do you think that they wanted to know? Well, their question when they had a press conference with President Biden was, have you ruled out a pardon for yourself? That's what they wanted to know. He was going to pardon for what? Watch President Biden's response in his face, though. Like, what? Like, what are you asking me here? Play this clip.
Also, sir, on pardons, have you ruled out a pardon for yourself or any other additional members of the family?
For myself?
Yes, sir.
What would I pardon myself for?
That's what I'm asking.
No, I have no contemplation of pardoning myself for anything. I didn't do anything wrong.
Mr. President, would you comment on Meta's decision to...
Are you ready to jumpstart your health in 2025? Well, let me tell you about a game-changing tool that's been helping me understand and improve my body. It's called Lumen. Lumen is the world's first handheld metabolic coach, designed to give you insights into your metabolism like never before. With just a breath, it measures whether your body is burning fats or carbs, and the app provides tailored guidance to optimize your nutrition, workouts, sleep, and even stress management. Here's how it works. Every morning, you breathe into Lumen, and it tells you what's happening with your metabolism. From there, it gives you a personalized nutrition plan for the day so you can fuel your body the right way. You can even use it before and after workouts or meals to get real-time insights into how your body is responding and adjust your habits accordingly. It's super cool. Your metabolism is the engine that powers your body. It's how you turn the food you eat into the energy you need. That's why optimizing your metabolic health can have such wide-reaching benefits. Easier weight management, more energy, better fitness results, improved sleep, and more. And for those navigating hormonal changes, Lumen even adjusts its recommendations to help you maintain a healthy metabolism through life's natural shifts. I've been using Lumen to better understand my body, and the results have been eye-opening. Knowing whether I'm burning fat or carbs has helped me to make smarter choices about what I eat and when I exercise. It's not about the quick fixes. It's about making informed decisions that align with my goals and lifestyle. Take the next step in improving your health. Go to lumen.me/Midas to get 20% off your Lumen. That's lumen.me/MEIDAS for 20% off your purchase. Thank you, Lumen, for sponsoring this episode and helping us all take control of our health in 2025.
On a more serious note, President Biden talked about the disinformation being spread on social media and how billionaire oligarchs are using their wealth to undercut the truth and facts. Here, President Biden's talking about how Mark Zuckerberg has eliminated fact-checking at Facebook, is allowing language and rhetoric to attack transgender people, marginalized communities. And now you could just say the most hateful and disgusting things. By the way, it wasn't exactly like Facebook was a bastion of civil discourse before, but also Mark Zuckerberg is now moving his whole content moderation team to Texas because he says California's too woke for them. I mean, just like, I'm going to play you this clip, but can we think about this for a second? You've got all of these whiny billionaires who, by the way, during the Biden administration, their wealth has grown dramatically. Go back and look at Zuckerberg and Bezos and Musk and a lot of these billionaires, their wealth. It's grown dramatically. 3x, 5x, 7x times, billions and billions of dollars more. Why? A lot of it because the stock market was up 55 to 60% under the Biden administration. So with all of the wealth that they've gained in the Biden administration, while Biden was focused on lifting up other people, right? Lifting up the 99% others. And Biden's just saying, look, guys, billionaires, you could be billionaires. Biden says, I'm a capitalist. I'm okay with you making money, but can you just pay your fair share of taxes? You're thriving under my economy, but it's unfair that you're paying less in actual dollars, not even percentages, dollars, than a teacher, a firefighter, a construction worker. That's unfair. And the billionaires who made all this extra wealth are like, no, even though we're thriving even more, we don't want to give any money back to you. We want to hoard it. We want generational wealth forever. And it's not just enough that we're rich. We want to make sure that the workers suffer. We want to stop their unions. We want to dismantle the National Labor Relations Board, the NLRB. We want to make sure that they don't get a raise in the minimum wage to a living wage. We don't want to pay overtime. We don't want to do any of that. You know, how sick is that? It's like the billionaires get off in the suffering of we the people, and they can make all this money in the world, but that's not enough for them. How many private jets, yachts, homes, mansions do you actually need while Americans suffer and they can't buy homes? It's so strange to me. Anyway, I digress. I say I digress a lot. Here's what President Biden says about Facebook's policies. Play this clip.
Telling the truth matters. I mean, I know I'm on national television, but you all are local reporters and national reporters. I'm not, this is not a real question, but what do you think? You think it doesn't matter that they let be printed where millions of people read it, things that are simply not true? I mean, I don't know what that's all about. It's just completely contrary to everything America's about. We want to tell the truth. We haven't always done it as a nation. We want to tell the truth. And the idea that, a billionaire can buy something and say, by the way, from this point on, we're not gonna fact check anything. And when you have millions of people going online, reading this stuff, it is, anyway, I think it's really shameful.
And here's what President Biden asked when he's asked if he regrets his decision to run for re-election. Again, what a weird phrasing of the question. Here, play this clip.
Mr. President, do you regret your decision to run for re-election? Do you think that made it easier for your predecessor to now become your successor?
I don't think so. I think I would have beaten Trump, could have beaten Trump, and I think that Kamala could have beaten Trump and would have beaten Trump. It wasn't about, I thought it was important to unify the party. And when the party was worried about whether or not I was going to be able to move, I thought even though I thought I could win again, I thought it was better to unify the party. And it was the greatest honor in my life to be President of the United States, but I didn't want to be one who caused a party that wasn't unified to lose an election. And that's why I stepped aside, but I was confident she could win.
Okay, so President Biden making, I think, a compelling argument for his closing statement that
President-elect responded to massive blaze of reopening his long-term feud with California Gov. Gavin Newsom's landing an early job on domestic governor and a state likely to emerge as major opponent to his second-term plans. Trump and Newsom have clashed bitterly in the past, including over fire prevention, environmental policies, climate change, green vehicles, and immigration. And the incoming presidents wasted no time in laying the blame for simultaneous wildlife rigging in the Los Angeles area that have so far killed at least 5 people. Trump slammed the gross incompetence of mismanagement of Biden Newsom due in a post in his social media. He claimed that California environmental policies that divert freshwater to preserve waterlands and wildlife were to blame for hydrant dry clean.